is a surprise live, and hopefully you can hear me because I have my air conditioner on. And I am just going to paint, and we're going to have a conversation. And so people probably filter on as they see this, and then you can watch it later too. Let me go down just a little bit more. I can bring that back so you don't have to see me as much. There we go. Okay, that's good. So we're going to do some painting today, and I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to have a conversation with you today. We're not going to do channeling. I probably am not going to do channeling for a while. I'm going to kind of contemplate some dreams that I'm having and start working on this, our healing team, because I feel it's very important. And I just think that I'm going to take a break from channeling. We'll see how that plays out. Also, so this is something that I am painting. And I used to do these a long time ago where I would do painting and talk and tell you about dreams or a channeling session or certain things. And so we're going to do that today. I decided I'm going to start working on paintings of visions that I'm having. And so I'm going to work on this painting while I talk. And this is kind of like, they call it the evil eye. It's not really evil, it protects you against evil. So this is your protection eye. Then I have a man holding it, and I'm going to work on his body. And what's very interesting about this is I painted it out of what I saw in the sky. Now the eye was not in it, but this was the color that it was. It was magenta. This is the color that I saw in the sky that appeared twice to me in clouds. So it was a triangle like this, and it had small round circles on each side. I know the only other time I've seen this symbol is on Stephen Greer's shirts, but his have big round circles. My circles were not that round. I mean, not that big. They were round, but not that big. So that's exactly the color that it was. So I don't know if you can see that. And it was very beautiful. And I thought it was just beautiful because of the color too. But it was also the shape. And it was just facing me like that out of the sky. So it happened once, and then it went away when the thunder and lightning went away. And once the lightning lit up the clouds again, then I saw two of them. And they were purple outlined, just very thin, with the purple dots on each side, which is pretty cool. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. So I'm just going to kind of go over some interesting dreams that I've had. Now, if you don't like to listen to things about vaccinations, and you don't like listening to kind of the things that are happening in the world today, then you probably want to log off of this. You probably don't want to listen to it. Because I'm just going to express my feelings. This is just me. This isn't anything of gospel or anything like that. It's just me, my feelings, my dreams, my hopes, my wishes. This isn't, and then I'm going to go through kind of a visionary dream that I had. So I really felt that this man, I wanted him of strength. I didn't want him a warrior, but I wanted a man of strength. And I think right now, with what I'm seeing that's coming our way, there has to be one man. There has to be a man of strength out there somewhere. And I'm looking for him. I know he has to be out there. So as we delve into, I call it our new world, because we're going to have some new times coming our way. And it's going to be very interesting, the episodes that we're going to vision and see. And I think more of you are going to start having visions of things that are going to happen. Not just psychic people, everybody is going to have their own little visions. So let me tell you about my dream. So in this dream, as you know, I'm in a conundrum of the vaccination. And I know I'm not going to get it. I just am not. Because I was told through prayer not to receive the vaccination. So I won't. And so in this dream, take it for what you will. But in this dream, I was at work, just working like a regular day. And all of a sudden, people around me started coughing and kind of like gagging cough. And I thought, what is going on? And so I started watching them, and they started throwing up blood. So I know, I have a vivid mind, I know. So in this dream, people started to throw up the blood and collapsing. So the only people that weren't throwing up blood were people that were not vaccinated. And so I grabbed the people that were not vaccinated and I said, come with me. And we kind of hid in a restroom because everybody was just collapsing. And I kind of had a fear that whatever is in their body was going to come out and go into the air and we would be infected with it, just kind of like your basic movie, horror movie. And so we stayed in the bathroom and all we heard was moans and groans. There's about 7 of us in the restroom hiding because we didn't want to go outside and drive because we would hear the car crashes. There's car crashes, plane crashes. There's just a lot of devastation outside where we were. So I said, let's just stay here like for an hour. And when things get quiet, let's go back out. So when things got quiet, we went back out, and everybody went home. We saw the devastation that was outside the door, and it was pretty scary. It was just like a movie. It was actually just like a movie. And so I get home, I get into the house. I believe I went to the grocery store. I went into the house, and then just closed everything up and stayed there. And we had water and electricity still, and so that was fine. And we just stayed listening to the news. So here we go, listening to the news to see what was going on. And it seems like there was some sort of gamma ray, microwave ray that activated something in that vaccine, and it was exploding like people's cells in their body, and the bodies were becoming disrupted on the inside out, and they weren't able to sustain themselves. So, long story, so I stay in my house for a week. I had enough food and water for a week. Stay in my house. We were able to get on the internet. Everything was up and going, listening to the emergency broadcast, all of that. And then the military actually got involved. The military that was left got involved and came around place to place in the neighborhoods, like all of us have our military around, and they came place to place to see who was alive, and they were exhuming bodies. They were taking bodies out. And I think they, if I remember correctly in my dream, they were burning them. They had to burn them. Just in the movies. I mean, this is like, would be a great movie, actually. If it wasn't true. So they come to my place. I saw them, and they come to my place, and I opened my window a little bit because they had like gas masks on, totally like the movies. And they go, "Ma'am, are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm good." And he goes, "Are you a vaccinated person?" And I said, "No, I'm unvaccinated." He goes, "Is there just, how many are you in the house?" And I told him there's just me and my animal, my dog. And he goes, "Do you need anything, assistance, any health assistance?" I said, "No, I'm fine." And he goes, "Do you need food? I have a week's worth of food and water, and I'm going to leave it at your back door. And when we're gone, please get it. And I want you to stay inside." And I said, I'm good. Okay. And so what they do is they were collecting bodies, and they are also spraying something on my front door. And it's very interesting because I keep painting circles, and it was a circle with a 1. So what they were doing is putting a circle means there's a live person inside that's unvaccinated, and then they put in the center of the circle how many people are alive in the house. And the ones that have expired, they're doing a circle with a line through it, and that means for you to go inside and take the expired body out. So that was just quite the interesting dream. And I think that bit looks pretty good. It's looking pretty good. So I took the cat, my neighbor has a cat, so I took the cat in because she expired. And I know she's had COVID. And she was really sick. I could hear her really sick for a long time. But she got over it. And so took her cat in, and I went around, took some other animals in. I know they didn't want me to go outside, but I did because I couldn't have animals, not living, because they were taking people, and if there's children in the home and babies, they were taking them to care facilities. So thank goodness for the people that weren't vaccinated, because those people were the helpmates to the survivors, children. So in this dream, that was the end of the dream 1. So then I go into dream 2. And so that's when they go and exhume bodies, and everything was burning. Once everything was burning, I think we were home we had to stay in our houses for like a month or 2, and we couldn't go out. And so the military spray painted things on our house, like this person, we gave rations for a week, and then they come back and they give us more rations. And the police were also in full force. And so retired police, military, any handicapped volunteers were all pulling together. Everything became very organized, and I felt safe. And I just had to stay inside and stay safe until we were told we could go outside. So now you think that vaccinated people all perish and the unvaccinated people take over. Well, that's not the truth. Um, the vaccinated people, yes, they are still alive, but all your evil cabinets, all our politicians now that are running our country, they're not our friends. I call them a regime. So the regime is in full control over us that were unvaccinated. And I think this was the plan because, and it wasn't a good plan, it was still a bad plan. So what I'm asking for and want to know, because I know my channel is small and I know what I do is very interesting to people, but still some people have a hard time understanding it, and that's fine. I have sometimes a hard time understanding what I do, what I see, and when things happen that I've given knowledge on, it even's like, wow, that was true. It even amazes me because this is given to me. This is not something I've asked for, but it has been given to me, and I've accepted it as a calling. I can give love and help people with it because that's what I'm all about, is helping my fellow man. And it seems like this happened when it got to be the scariest time. It was at the point where even the good people started losing hope that there would be any kind of savior, because things were just getting ridiculous. I mean, I'm sorry, everything in the United States is really becoming ridiculous. I mean, really, they're trying to divide our country with vaccinated and unvaccinated people. Who would have thought that? I am so thankful that I was able to have a life as a child where I knew total freedom. I am so thankful that I lived in a world that I was able to work for myself and have my own career, and I could make my own choices. And I was always law-abiding citizen, but I was able to make my own choices in all aspects of my life. And the government could have cared less about my choices. As long as I paid my taxes, they could care less about what I did. As long as I was a law-abiding citizen and wasn't a menace to society. So that is something I will always remember, the freedom that I've always had. One day we'll have that freedom again, and most Christians know that the freedom will be coming back. We're just going to have to go through some really hard times, and I've been saying for the longest time that there's something wicked this way comes. Well, it's here. It's already here now, and I think you can see it. I guess what I don't understand is those in power, and when I say power, I guess government, is where are they? Where are our lawyers to help us with our unalienable rights? Where are our military, our lawyers? Where are those people that are to seek justice, and where are they? We need help. We the people are under attack by a few people that I call from the regime. It's a regime now. It's not government. It's a regime that's in control. Where is our leader? And I'm not talking about Biden. Biden is not a leader. He's a cheat, and he stole the presidency. So if you want to turn this off now, you can, because I'm just going to tell you how it is. And this video will probably be taken down, and that'll be fine. And even if my whole channel gets taken down, that's fine. But it's time for me to speak my truth. And I think it's the truth of a lot of people. And it'll anger a lot of people. So what do you guys think? And it's kind of confusing on what to do. I mean, what do we do? I'm waiting for the man, for a man to walk forward and say enough is enough. And this man is one man, but there is many to him. It's like a tree, and he has many roots, and the roots are strong. And he needs to come forward now. It's time to come forward and say enough is enough. Before, if it gets too much out of hand, it's going to be too hard to control. And I'm waiting for that man to come forward. He's been silent for a while, and he knows who he is, because he's watching this and he's waiting for his time to strike. That time needs to be soon, more so than later. So this is going to be cool, because this is glow-in-the-dark paint. So we are going to use some glow-in-the-dark paint. Let's see. Let me use this. My colors down here. So I don't know if any of you that are psychic, intuitive, are really feeling something coming. Something's coming. And it's going to be within a month or two. And I'm sorry, but I don't feel that it's good. I think we're going to get to the lowest point that we can. And it's going to be to where we think we're done for. And I was hoping I wouldn't be able to see this time while I was alive. I was hoping I'd be gone, because I didn't want to live through it. But I have a feeling I'm going to live through it, which makes it even scarier when you come from a small family and you're going, okay, now what do I do? But I've always been told that I'll be taken care of. Things will be taken care of. So if anybody has any questions that's watching, let me know. This is just kind of a surprise video. I just felt like I had to speak. I had to give my voice. I had to do a call out to the man that is watching all of this, that's going to step in and correct it. It's not going to save us. No one can save us. But he's going to correct the circumstance. And he's going to be able to do it. But it's time for him to start doing it before we see a civil war break out in the country. Because you're going to have people that have guns. And I know they're trying to confiscate our guns, but they're not going to be able to, because it'll go into a civil war. Once you start taking the good old boys' rights away, you're going to see those good old boys start arming up. And we're going to have a time where it could get to be that bad. I hope it doesn't. You know, they've said for years that our Constitution is hanging by a thread. Well, the regime has scissors, and they keep coming at that Constitution, and they want to cut it clean, and then they want to put their own horrible, horrible, horrible rules in. And you know, their rules don't even make sense, and they just keep asking for more trillions and trillions of dollars. And it's going to nothing. It's going to them. It's going to their parties. It's going into the regime to make it stronger and stronger. So we're basically giving money to thugs that are going to be taking over our country and harming us. So it's up to you on what you want to do with that. But it's time for us to, and I don't know if you are a praying person, but it's getting time for you to really be fervent in your prayers. You're going to have to really be specific in your prayers now, because God will hear you and God will take care of you, but it's not going to be as easy as you think it is. We're still going to have to go through a lot of bad stuff. And I know a lot of you have gotten the jab. I call it the jabadilly. And they're trying to say now, they've gone to other countries, and they're trying to say that now, because of the Delta variant, that they need to do a third jabadilly. And maybe consider not doing that. It's up to you, because you know what? God has given us choice. Even though the choice makes him sad, he's given us freedom of choice. And he wants us to have free choice, because he doesn't want us to say, well, you told me to do that, and look where I'm at now. No, it's your choice. So what I'm doing here on this painting, I got some glow in the dark, so I'm going to outline this guy. I outlined the triangle, I'll outline the eye, and so when the lights go off, it will be all outlined. Be really cool. Then I'll put it for sale on my store. So I hope you can see. You can't really see this, it's just kind of clear. You know, we are a nation, for the most part, of sovereign people. We have so many good people in this world. And I just love this world. And I love being an American. I just love it. I have always been very thankful to be in this country. And that's why so many people want to come to this country, because of the freedoms. And they can, you know, sustain themselves and support their families. And it just is such a fabulous fabric, where a lot of the world isn't like this. And I'm just so thankful every day for being here. I'm so thankful for the choice I have of receiving a vaccination or not. I'm just thankful that I have that choice. There may be consequences for my choice of not receiving it, and I'm just going to have to be prepared for that consequence that I might have to face one day with that. Hopefully not. Hopefully somewhere in the world people will have compassion upon each other and support each other in all aspects. You know, as we have been telling you all year that the highest vibration is love. And that love can drown out any evil. So I ask you now, I pray that you may now see that it is time to fervently pray, fervently be on your knees. Pray for your fellow man and pray that your enemies will see their ways. I just say we're going to come to a very praying nation where if all of us can gather together and get on our knees. See, what we need to understand now is that we need leadership. I know we have a government, but we almost need to forget about our government right now because it's failing us as the common man, the hard-working, laboring man. Our government has failed us. So I'm not saying that we should, start anything. I'm saying that we need leaders. We need leaders that are strong, like Martin Luther King. I wish we had him back because he was our leader. I'm actually interested in watching some of the things of Ron Paul. He is trying to make things right and voicing against all odds of his government, against the regime, and trying to make it where we can be safe again. And to be vaccinated or not vaccinated is really not the question. The question is freedom. The question is we need a leader. And once we have, and maybe we need more than one leader, maybe we need several leaders that we can stand by, that we can support, that we can cherish, that we can just support totally. It's just coming down to that time. And I guess I'm putting a call out to you, all of you that want to stay listening to this channel. I know it looks small, but this channel is bigger than you think it is because I get notifications, and it's not going to be a huge channel, but I get notifications weekly of how many people subscribe to this channel. So I can have 17 to 30 people a week subscribe to my channel, and my count never changes. It always stays the same, which is fine. I'd rather be able to stay under the radar and do channeling and give you information, give you hope, that you talk to those that you will probably see one day, because they are watching us very closely. You have the people behind this triangle. This triangle appeared in the clouds to me. Isn't that funny? I did take my tag off of this. And it was a message, and I don't understand what the message is because I'm not into UFOs or things like that. So I don't even know. I know what the evil eye means, but I don't even know what the triangle means. And I don't know what the circles on each side mean. I don't know what that symbolizes means. I've not ever. This is all new to me, you guys. I'm not a pro. I know a lot of people talk as they're pros on all this stuff, and they just jabber stuff off and talk 100 miles a minute. That's not me. I'm just kind of a relaxed human that has a gift of sight, that's been told that she's an oracle. And the oracles are usually warning voices. So when I feel like I need to give warning, I do. And now's the time of warning. Last few days, something's been very heavy on me. And it's not evil, but it's heavy. And I keep hearing something wicked this way comes, and it's heavy. And so I know I've said this 100 times, but please consider getting yourself some food and water for a week or two, just so, and it doesn't ever hurt to have food and water. Growing up as Mormon, we always had a month's supply of food and water. And so just in case anything happened, we were always trained in catastrophes. We have our little garbage can that had everything in it that we could throw in the back of the car. We knew the exit plan out of the state if we had to, etc., etc. But I don't think we'll have to do that, because I was told that we would still have the electricity. If you're in a big town, you would have less options of source, because there'd be less people manning it. Smaller towns where they're possibly less vaccinated, more people will survive. So, not quite sure. Hi Ashley, how you doing? How you feeling today, Ashley? I'm just kind of talking away. I just came home and felt I needed to speak, and to really not channel, but just to talk and tell you of my dream, tell you what's going on, tell you what I'm feeling, and paint. So I'm really going to focus on my paintings. Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling better, Ashley. I actually feel like I'm kind of healing. I started eating, and so everything seems to be good. And I'm getting kind of back to normal, which is excellent. So I'm sorry they pushed your surgery back. I would be upset about that too. That would make me upset. Because I work for a facility that we also schedule surgeries for patients. And I know how eager, once a patient decides they need to have surgery, how eager they are to get that surgery. And we try to do everything we can. And it was really hard during COVID because they were only doing emergency surgeries, or we work for OBGYN, so we only delivering babies. And so it was really hard for people that were living in pain that couldn't have their surgeries. I did hear something today that was kind of crazy. Yeah. And so I'm just going to say this because I was listening to talk radio. I always listen to it. It's a Idaho talk radio. And this guy calls in, and he's saying that, and he was going to send this guy the website or the documentation that he saw this on, that this is how crazy our government's getting. They are trying to devise a plan where they can separate the vaccinated people and the unvaccinated people and put them in zones in certain towns. They're trying to pass this. It won't pass because there'll be a revolution if it happens. But so they're trying to pass where you can only live in this zone if you're vaccinated, and you can only live in this zone if you're unvaccinated. And I thought that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I hope I just have this stupid vision of my mom when Pearl Harbor was bombed, and they put those poor people in concentration camps. And I thought, are they going to put us vaccinated people in a concentration camp? I mean, like a camp, so we can stay contained, which would probably keep us safe, because the people I feel that do the most harm are the vaccinated, because their bodies are in a conundrum and they're processing certain things and viruses in their body and shooting it out into the air, which we can catch. So it's just crazy, just super crazy. So, okay, so I'm probably going to wrap this up. I just wanted to talk to you. It's about 45 minutes. So, working on this cool painting. This is a total protection painting. I have a guy that's holding it up, and then I'll varnish it. And then I'm going to get a really large painting, and I'm going to paint a huge scene in it, like a kind of an alien scene. And so I'm going to do that because I want to paint a painting of the council, and it's the council of the Lyrins, Pleiadians, and I believe there's a Lemurian culture still around. I believe there's a this culture still around, and a few other cultures, and they are actually in council, and they're really, 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 really watching the dangers, because these people of the regime, they can get their hands on nuclear, and so of course they're watching that, and they want to be careful of that. Oh, let me do one more thing here. And so my next painting will be the council meeting, and then you will see them in their boardroom, in the room that I see, and then on the outside of their window, because there's glass all around it, you will see the earth off to the side, because you will see that they're that close, that some of these people are that close to us, and their boardroom is on a ship, and they are that close, and they have to stay that close because they might need to make a split decision, and they're able to keep hidden. Oh, what did I hear? But our technology is getting good where they're in certain portals of energy, but we're getting pretty good at finding them, so it's getting harder for them to keep hidden. So they'll come out once in a while and try to throw the scent off the track for the US. So just keep these words in mind. Don't be scared, but you need to be prepared. I keep hearing prepared, prepared, prepared. And if we're not prepared, I do believe in time the military will take care of us. And there will be churches that will also come into play and become a great strength to society. The churches are going to become a huge strength to society. So if you belong to a denomination, stay active and volunteer in your denomination, because there's going to be a time where they are going to be the ones that are going to come to the pulpit. And they're the ones that are going to come support the man that's going to come forward. I see him, I know this is weird, but I see him as a tree, and where it has super strong roots. And those roots are the people that will help him. And we will never be the same. We will never be able to get our country back the same, but we will get our freedoms back, and we will be protected. So that being said, and I wanted to show you this. I'm going to put this on my store, one of my stores. This is a fossilized piece of wood out of Asia, and I just think that's the most coolest thing I've ever seen, is when I see fossilized wood, because just think how many thousands, hundreds of thousands, and it's kind of crystallized right here. It's kind of turned into a crystal, and I think that crystallized, I don't know if that's sap that crystallizes in the tree after a while, but it's pretty cool. So I'm going to put that. People that are attracted to fossilized wood, like it for grounding, and it kind of brings the history of Earth into their homes. So that's pretty cool. All right, I think we're good. I'm gonna do some touch-up work. So what I was painting was in the dark paint. So we're gonna see how that works. I think that's cool. I'm gonna put some glitter on the corners, and then we'll gloss it up. I'm gonna do gloss, and then it'll be put for sale. And this is a protection painting. So, and then I'll probably make some prints on it because I like it to have it for protection for your homes. And it has, I saw in the clouds, if you guys watched this at the beginning, that when I was channeling Augustus Thor, I'm kind of on the bench on him. I'm quite still not quite sure what he is all about, if he's good or bad, or if he's down the center, and he sways either way. But he's a demigod, so I think he goes to the whim of what he chooses. And so what he showed me in the storm, when the light would go off in the clouds, I had a triangle that was purple. And as I was saying, magenta. And then it had little circles on each side. And then the light went off in the cloud, and I kept blinking, thinking, is that real? And then it happened again where the lightning in the cloud lit up the cloud, and then there's two of them side by side. And so they didn't have the eye or anything in it. It was just the triangle with 3 dots, and the dots were actually that small. It looked just like that. So my next painting is going to be huge, and I'm going to paint the council, the outside council that are here to help us and protect us, and the sovereign beings. And I'm going to paint them as they are in council. I'm going to just really focus now on the good. It's really hard when you hear that people are losing their jobs, and businesses reaching out to those people because they're talented doctors, nurses, and I also hear that some of these doctors are going to pull together their own clinics. So you're going to have clinics popping up, and you're going to have small doctors again that could do house calls, etc., etc., that are unvaccinated or willing to stay unvaccinated. So you might have self-employed doctors that will be their own doctors. I think our government is going to try to close that down when it starts, but I really am so disappointed in our legal people. I am so disappointed in our law. Not police, don't get me wrong, but attorneys, lawyers, they are so chicken. Our lawyers should be gathering together. They should be voicing their opinion of our Constitution, of our rights, and they are the ones that have the knowledge and the strength of law behind them. Where are they? They're all hiding because they're scared. We need strength. You may lose everything, but you're going to lose it anyway. So you might as well go down fighting. We need our lawyers and our attorneys and all those that know law, all those doctors that are strong. They need to pull together with these attorneys, and we need them to come together and make strength in our country, because we need them. We need you. We need your voice. We need your knowledge. We need who you are. You made a commitment for justice, and we're asking for justice right now. And it's not only for us, it's for the future. Do you want your children to suffer? Do you want your grandchildren to suffer? It makes no sense why these people of knowledge are not standing steadfast and strong. We need to hear you. You need to be loud, and you need to be strong. you need to be kind. We don't need to do anything angry, but I really feel that we need some strength. And you know who you are. If you ever hear this, if this ever gets shared anywhere, it's a call out to you to bring you forth. You need to pull together with the doctors and the lawyers that are of justice need to pull together and come out, and the churches. We all need all three of those entities to come together, and we need to stand strong, and then us, the people, will stand behind you. So peace out, guys. Have a good day. Life is kind of good. I'm not going to say good, but hopefully it'll get better. Stand strong and make way for the good to come back and be here for us. So peace out, guys. Love you.